This is Infection, the survival podcast, recorded live on Tuesday, May 31st, 2016, episode 72. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infection, the survival podcast. Infection is your source for the latest information on survival video games. We bring you the latest news, reviews, updates, and more each and every week. My name is Nick Craig, at Nicholas M. Craig is my Twitter. InfectionPodcast.com is the website. Thanks for joining us for episode 72. Back again, Brian with a beard Aldridge. Hello, Brian.
Yes. Hey, guys. If you want to find me at Boise Computer on Twitter. Also, if you go to biteoftech.com, that's BITE of tech.com, there's a blog there that has all my links to social media. So if you're looking to find me on LinkedIn or wherever, there'll be a link on there. Stumble upon. Yeah, I think I maybe.
Did you hear that MySpace and Tumblr both got
I got a
compromised?
notification. Yeah, that back in 2008.
Yeah,
they got compromised. I mean, they're finally doing a public release that everybody's username and passwords got compromised.
Well, it's not even the username and passwords of MySpace, but it's like I'm just as guilty as everybody else. Like, I've got a bunch of passwords I use, but like social media, I pretty much use the same password for. Like, I have like different tiers. Like, I have like my banking stuff, and that I use different passwords for everything. But like forms on the internet, like I don't care if my form. Like, what are you gonna do? Post like an ad on a forum and get me banned? Like. But stuff like that.
Now that I use LastPass, I don't. But back then, I did.
Yeah, because it's just.
So I mean, I got to think. Back in 2008, I don't even remember what my password was.
Yeah. So like it's not that the MySpace got compromised, but especially like non-techie people, they use the same password across everything. Their internet provider login, their banking and everything. So. You know, you match a username and you match an email and a password, and you get into that person's like Gmail account, or at that time it was probably like Hotmail or whatever. Yeah. So sad, too bad. But a little bit late now, right? And Tumblr too, I think got compromised. I'm sure I created a Tumblr account, but I don't think I have one.
I think I put like 2 things on it.
No, I don't. I'm almost certain I don't, but possibly. So there you go. Actually, I do have one for the weather. I made an account. Yeah.
So, but was this still back in 2008?
No,
I believe this is a recent one.
Yeah, I believe the Tumblr one was recent. So
okay,
there you go.
So use LastPass was the tech party of the podcast. Use something like LastPass.
I got my boss set up on LastPass, and he incorrectly adds information to LastPass, like the wrong username and password, and then he yells at me. He's like, "This thing doesn't work," and it's like, well, when you enter the wrong. It doesn't know your password. If you enter the right password, it works fine. But
that's why I just have it hit generate and save.
Yeah, but I try that and it doesn't work. But no, LastPass is great and it's free. So there you go. This is the tech roundup
your tip of the
your tech tip of the week on Infection Podcast. Check it out. Last week we did CS:GO. Way more fun than I was expecting. Way more fun than I was expecting. We had Landgun, who really is. I mean, he says he's like, oh hey man, I haven't really played a whole lot of CS:GO. Lies, straight up lies. He's got
how many hours?
Compared to the group, which he had 21 hours, which is not a lot, but compared to the group,
PHVCK, of course, he had like all these. But
he came in late.
Yeah.
So before PHVCK
came, later.
Yeah, exactly. Before PHVCK came in, I had played it for the first time. I don't think Brian had played it before.
I had played barely. Like
Saul had literally never launched
servers and feel just like, these people are trash talking the whole time. I'm trying to learn how to play this game.
Saul literally had never launched. He had like 16 minutes when I checked his profile. It was a lot of people that didn't know what they were doing. Musty played a little bit. It was a lot of fun until PHVCK came along and was just wrecking us on everything. But it was a lot of fun. It went over way better than I was expecting.
I mean, you didn't go overboard, but what are we going to ask him to not do so well? Can you just? we did tell him to use a pistol for a while.
Falcon had 71 minutes, so yeah, there you go. A whole 71 minutes on CS:GO. I don't know how much time I have now, but it went over very, very well. We had a lot of fun.
And we were on our own server, so we did have somebody stumble in.
They stumbled in. I have 34 minutes played, which is not accurate because I played for like 3 hours, but there you go. So there we go. That was that. And coming up this week. Go ahead.
This upcoming week we're going to be doing Gary's mod, and I'll have to look at us doing our own server to see.
Now we're probably going to be doing Trouble in Terrorist Town, so you may not want to do your own server.
Okay. That way we can pull some odd people from the internet.
Well, no, just because you have to like set up all the plugins and everything, and it's kind of a pain. But we're probably going to.
If I can find a server manager that easily lets me add the mods and everything, maybe I'll do it. But if it's honestly going to be a meticulous, like, and then if we change our mind and we want to do a different server type later,
like Lua scripting is a kind of a pain. So I wouldn't worry about it for this. But we're gonna do Gary's mod. We're gonna raid some like low pop Triple T server and play that, and probably I'll get banned for RDMing and ghosting, but it'll be a lot of fun. So we'll do that.
PHPCK says next time we won't be late. He says and ruin everything.
There you go. And we can do Judd's offering to help for Gmod. So maybe we will. Maybe we won't.
Judd has done Gmod before.
Yeah,
so he may already have everything set up.
Pain in the ass. Any Steam source engine game, the servers are a pain with Steam pipe and everything else. So. We'll see. We'll do it though, but we'll be live anyway. 9:30 Eastern. Lang going to be streaming twitch.tv/Langun44. Joe's going to be giving away a $50 or $60 title. We didn't give away the one last week. No, I think
he offered it, but we need to do it something different than based on skill level of who we think is the worst. Because it was like that. That's just pretty much us saying who do we feel like giving it to.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna do just the.
We'll do it. We'll come up with a
we're gonna do just the random number. Enter a number into the chat, and whoever's closest. So
that works.
That's what we'll do. There we go. So that's what's going on now. If you're an H1Z1 fan, which I'm sure a lot of you are, you wouldn't be watching the show. This is gonna be we're gonna be doing a lot of H1Z1 talk this week. The past few weeks have been a lot of H1Z1 stuff, but because there's been a whole lot of stuff to talk about. And
there's some things that kind of drove me crazy this week that I threw in there.
Yeah, there was some stuff, some crazy stuff too. But overall, we've got a lot of H1Z1 stuff. So first off, there was no producer update. This is the first one they've missed.
This is the first week
I couldn't find it.
Now they're going to say it's because of holiday, right? I mean that.
Well, no, because Friday wasn't the holiday. The Monday was the holiday.
Some of them probably take 4-day weekends.
Yeah, that's a common thing.
I mean, that's probably.
But whatever, because
sorry we missed.
But there was updates, so I think that kind of negates for the fact. Now, and this kind of hit me like a bombshell, and I want to hear your opinions on this, Brian. Let me run through this. This is the Just Survive update 5-27, which was last Friday. So, Friday 3 a.m. or Thursday night. They did a full server and world wipe, and they put in parentheses or quotes here. We prefer to give more notice, but this came in hot. Now they did.
I mean, they pretty much gave no notice on this.
There was no notice, and the other thing is when I continue reading through this note, I don't really see the reason why they had to do this wipe. There is one reason that makes me think that, but I'm not sure. So let me run through this. So there was a reduction to the ratio of bears and wolf spawns, which we've talked about in the past, and also a reduction of predator and prey spawns. So there'll be less bears and wolves and prey like deer and rabbits and other stuff like that. So a reduction of all of that stuff. Not as much. There was.
Now, when they put the ratio of bears and wolves and then also predator and prey, aren't the bears and wolves the predators? Right?
They are, but they're not the prey. The prey are the.
I know. They kind of like doubled.
They kind of doubled. There's only 4 animals in the game, right? There's the rabbits.
Well, and then the crows.
Yeah, but the crows don't interact. They're not predator. And I don't think they get attacked either. So that is that was that. They added a delay for damage on zombie attacks to match animation. They improved the zombie screamer grenade to attract zombies more efficiently. So they'll have a wider range now when you throw that screamer grenade. It'll attract more stuff. Walkers and runners now have varied speed attacks. So there'll be some varied attacks in there. Walker attacks. The walkers attack slower and do more damage per hit. So they'll be a little bit slower, which means you'll be able to run away, but they'll do more damage.
Yeah, so that's what. So they're pretty much making a statement and then they're clarifying it, I think, because they're saying walkers and runners now have varied attacks. So the walkers are going to have a slower movement but a higher damage. The runners are going to have a higher speed but lower damage.
Exactly. So there's two different kinds of zombies. So in a big horde, you will have some zombies that are running up to you and getting closer, but doing less damage.
They're not going to hurt you as badly.
Exactly. And then you have ones that are farther behind that are slower, but if you get trapped by them, they're going to kill you faster. So that's a nice little combo, because previously the horde was just one big horde. Everybody did the same thing. Everybody moved the same way, and everybody did the same damage. So that's changed. Combat knife headshot should work again. So if you hit somebody or hit a zombie in the head with a combat knife, it counts as a headshot. And it should kill them. The comfort system now starts at 100%, which is what did it start at before? Like 50 or 70 or something like that. It now starts at 100. I don't remember what it was.
You had to build it up.
It's been so long ago. Now this next one really pissing me off. The forced scope is temporarily disabled while we made adjustments. They just added this in, and they've disabled it completely, which means they didn't do enough QC and enough test server testing, which again falls back on us, the players of this game, because we're not playing on the test servers. You can go look at the.
I wonder if the animation of going back. I mean, but this is something that already is there. Like as far as that motion of when you go to scope, like that's all done.
Yeah, but I think the way
I don't know how they're.
It's because they have to force, because they're forcing you first person to do that, and I think that's where.
So probably because it was going to one, and then maybe I didn't see what it was doing, but maybe it wasn't doing the transition seamlessly.
The way it was explained, or the way I read into it was, if you're in third person and you zoom in, it brings you to first person when you're scoped in, and then it should bring you back to third person when you're done. I bet you it wasn't bringing you back to third person. It may have been keeping you in first, or maybe it was getting stuck scoped in.
Yeah.
But again, comes down to the community not testing this stuff on the test servers. I mean, it's really our fault when you sit back.
Now, Unicorn Joe, he says, they should almost drop the test servers if they're not going to use them correctly.
Well, they should, but again, they can't.
Or make them give them a point.
Exactly. We've talked about it 1,000 times. They need to give them some incentive. But again, it falls back on the community of this game, because we're not testing this stuff. We're just expecting it to, test it internally on 10 computers and push it live for thousands of people, which doesn't work. So containers inside a secure structure do not show up for someone if they no-clip into the base. This is a really good improvement. They will reappear once the door is opened. So
before, I think you could see the containers,
but
you couldn't
access them, which means you could blow them up. But now, if you can't,
I don't know if you could blow, but you could at least see that they were in there. Like you would know that this room contains 10 containers.
Yes.
So they would know, okay, well, this is a good door to blow down. Now they won't be able to see that they're even in there to know. So you could just create a bunch of rooms, and you don't have to fill every single room with chests, even though maybe the clipping distance, I don't know if this is going to affect to where now, how you used to be able to go far away and you would see the containers show up first?
Yeah, well, you're not going to see that now.
That shouldn't happen now.
Which, by the way, this is the last thing on the second to last thing on the note. This is arguably one of this is a huge improvement.
One of their biggest ones, and they're putting it at the very end.
It's like they're totally nullifying what this is. This now means if it works properly, there's no benefit of no clipping, because now, so what would happen, like Brian said, is somebody would no clip into your base. They couldn't place stuff to blow stuff up, but they could say, all right, there's 15 chests in this room. This is the wall we need to attack. Instead of having to destroy every wall, they just destroy the one that they know has the loot. If this works properly, it makes no clipping almost useless. So this is huge.
Other than maybe clipping through a gate, which still there's some limitations.
No, because as long as the door has to be opened. If you no clip
they'd be able to get into your main base, open base area, but they wouldn't be able to go into a room or see into a room.
Well, they'd be able to go into the rooms. They just wouldn't see anything in there. It would just look like an empty room.
Yeah, just be an empty room
with
to
a
them.
Barbecue or something like that. And then the last thing on here, new characters and / respawn will now place you relatively near a point of interest, which they talked about. So now
the main cities,
exactly. There's I think 7.
Now look at
the
note at the very end.
So this is why I believe that there was a server wipe. So this is all PvE servers are now becoming limited base building servers. Now,
how long till the PvP ones are all limited base building?
No, that's not where I was going. But
I'm just wondering. I mean, like this is
that's fine for PvE.
It feels like this is the way it's going.
I'm not sure, but the point of them, they wiped the server, and I can't figure out why. This PvE limited base building thing, I don't.
They could have just why do they wipe them all at the same? Like, why can't they wipe all the PvE servers? Because those seem to need wipes more often.
So this is the thing. They say that this came in hot. The idea of wiping.
Now, notice this is a last note. Like this, all PvE servers being this is an edit to it, so it wasn't on the original list.
Yeah. So I'm wondering what they did that came in last minute, that came in hot, that required a full server in World Wipe. It sure as hell was not the PvE servers being limited base building, because the only
thing is there's going to be bases in places that when they turn that on, there's going to be bases in places.
No, I get that, but that would not have come in hot last minute. That indicates to me that there was something last minute that they're like, oh man, we just figured this out. We got to push this now and wipe the servers.
Yeah, but it could be that limited PvE. They may have made the decision at the last second to turn that on.
I doubt it. I really do.
Because look, they put edit on there. They put edit and they added it as an extra note.
I'm not sure. I really highly doubt that this.
And then Fat Broken Ugly, he makes comment, none of this stuff was on the test server before it went live.
Because nobody uses the test server. There's no point of them putting something on the test server. Yeah.
They're not even using those anymore.
No, they're not.
For this stuff.
They're not. It's a fault of the company and a fault of the player base. In my opinion, it's more of a. We've been through this. I don't want to go through it again. But in my opinion, it's more of a fault of the player base, because they put stuff on the test servers. They did constantly, and nobody would ever go on. You'd look, there's like 150 people playing. Brian and I don't even have it installed. Actually, that's not true. I do have the Just Survive test server installed.
Yeah, I took it off.
Again, like I said last week, Hanny is the only person on my friends list, and I have a whole bunch of people that play H1Z1. Literally everybody on my friends list owns it. He's the only one I ever see playing it. So it's the same thing from last week. So that was the Just Survive's game update and wipe of 5/27. So that was last Friday. So that server wipe is interesting. So I'm not.
Now they
sure.
did on the same day they did a King of the Kill, and one nice thing is they actually separated these patch notes are totally different,
and they went back to Reddit,
and they're back on Reddit again.
Yeah.
So
I
mean, it's amazing how everything changes so often. Just get consistent. Like they haven't done it yet. But I mean, once they figure this out, maybe at some point they will. So now they're back on Reddit for the King of the Kill patches. This was done same time. This is on the 27th. They removed the failed interaction sound effect. So they had it where you were trying to do something and it was they'd make an error noise of you trying to interact with them. So they took that off.
Like that noise?
Yeah, that was actually my doorbell.
That could be a failed interaction.
But my wife is home, so she can go deal with that.
That's a failed interaction. That was perfect timing. That could not have been more perfect. Yeah. The failed interaction.
Yeah. Ding. Trying to interact with ding dong.
That was good.
And then they removed the ambient twig snapping sound effect. They removed the delay before players can shoot any exiting or after exiting a vehicle. So they had it to where there was a certain period of time you couldn't actually shoot your gun when you got out, which is weird to me. But they took that out now. So they removed voice chat from loading screens for all game modes.
Yep.
So this is that delay that they put in, right?
Yeah.
This should be the delay, that waiting delay of getting everybody. Yeah. They probably had it to where
the sound
you could still hear the people screaming. They had this. I remember when when they first released the parachute drop the way they did, there was a period of time where during the beginning of the parachute drop, everybody was still close enough. You could just hear them all screaming.
Yeah. In that one game
when everybody dropped from the same spot.
Yeah. It was like, it was total like headphone destroyage. It was rest in peace headphone use. It was really, really bad. So now on the loading screens and waiting, there's no longer
you don't have to hear the people
screaming, which is really toned down, by the way, because nobody listens. Everybody has
most
the
people
volume
have
down.
that off now, so I think people are kind of getting that taken away. So they fixed an issue where players are occasionally dying while driving a vehicle.
Very small issue. Again, this is stuff. This is like little tweaks that they've been doing.
Yep. Fixed issue where players were occasionally teleporting after falling off of an ATV. And then they fixed a bug affecting bullet drop with the AR-15. So those were the fixes for the 27th, and this is for King of the Kill only.
Yep. You got it. So a lot of good stuff coming for this. No producers update, which kind of that sucks. But they made it up with updates. They totally they updated both games this week. We had comprehensive patch notes for both of them. they did that huge thing with the base no clipping thing. So yeah, that kind of sucks, but they came through this week.
Yeah.
So there's stuff going on there.
So now Sebastian posted a few things this week of some shots from Z2. So if we go through these, the first one is a farm area.
What tweet are you doing? The first tweet or the second tweet?
I'm doing the first one. This
Okay.
is the Z2 shots.
4. Okay, yeah, here we go.
Yep. So this is the farm.
How awesome does this look?
I mean, and look, they've added tractors. There's, I wonder if that's how the corn's going to look now. Maybe.
Possibly.
They got some other plants in there. They have some different kind of vehicles. If you look, like they're not all the same repeated vehicles. They actually have a couple different kind of vehicles that they've added in this. The corn looks a lot better. It actually looks like real corn. There's actually some skeletons of dead cows and things laying around. Just those little things that I always complain that are missing. Like there's a dumped over wheelbarrow.
Yeah, with some
like
hay
none of
or
this
something.
sort of thing. Yeah, there's none of this sort of thing currently in the map. To where, I mean, there's a few spots here and there, but for the most part, like you could take this scene and say, all right, look at, there's all this hay. I mean, they could even have, it hasn't been gathered yet. Like there was an outbreak and
Tilled ground, like Falcon is pointing out, that you can see the let's see, the hay bales back here.
Yeah, they got the hay bales
like,
over there.
Could you, like, the gunfights that could happen between, like, I can,
it's kind of like a paintball field in a way, if you think about
That's
it.
exactly where I was going.
Fighters in the paintball field.
Yeah, like I played a decent amount of paintball and airsoft.
Yeah.
Like this is like I can see just by this picture. This is just one point of view. Like 5 or 6 different potential gunfight areas, like instantly, where I can see, like, oh, okay, I can see. I mean, even between these two tractors, you could have somebody ducking behind each of those tractors and shooting at each other. Those hay bales could do it, in and out of the house, weaving in and out of the corn stalks. There's a silo over to the left. There's silos behind the house. There's silos to the right of it. There are so many different areas for gunfights and gunplay to be happening. I feel like if I was in a gunfight with you in this area, Brian, I could lose you if you were weaving in and out of places.
You can duck behind those things and actually kind of try to work yourself away. There's so much open space right now that it's really difficult to really get away from somebody.
Yeah, it is very difficult.
Because you're going to have to pass through a very open spot at some point to get out of range.
Now, it still happens, but it is at a much lower level than I think it potentially could be.
Yep.
So
this is
great.
Shots of the new farm. So this shows you, and I think that they put this out to kind of have people see, oh, hey, look, there is actually stuff.
Yeah.
There is stuff in the Z2 map that's being put in. And this is probably one of their first focus areas of it. Like they're like, we need to make the farm. Maybe somebody's been working on this specifically, like this has been their area. So this is the first one that I really saw. That was the farm. Now they put in also one of the church. Now there's multiple churches throughout the map. But if you look, this is one of the churches. Now, this isn't a test zone. This is not inside of the Z2 map, because if you look, you can see the outer border. So, as I said, someone works on this, they get it placed, and then they'll take that whole done thing and then place it in the main map. It looked like the other one was already placed because there's probably more mountain and things. They needed to have that curvature to see how they place things around the farm. This one is just its own piece that they're going to place. And if you look, once again, there's more of the vehicles. They have a different kind of truck.
Yep. There's an SUV that like Subaru or some sort
of a hatchback.
Yeah, some type of hatchback or
and if you look in the yard, there's playground equipment, overgrown grass. This kind of has that more overgrown look.
Yep.
And you can see like someone broke through the fence. Ran into the fence.
Actually, that fence is open, I think.
No. Well, there's the first screenshot.
Oh, the first screenshot. Yeah.
If you look, like a vehicle drove through the fence.
Gotcha.
They're starting to tell a little bit of story.
Now,
which is, that's the thing that I like.
Yeah. Now, this is one thing that stuck out to me. I don't know if this stuck out to you or not. Let me try to zoom this in a little bit more. Yeah, right over here. This brush to the right of the church. This is good. There's fencing around the church, but this shrubbery, again,
some things you can actually kind of sneak into
exactly
and hide
my
behind.
point. If somebody is walking, if you see somebody from a distance walking into the church, you could easily, if they don't check, duck down and hide behind that stuff until they go in and come in behind them and kill them. Right now, if the current church is, it's pretty much open area on both sides.
Open all the way around.
Yeah, except for the hill on the right-hand side, but I'm not going to count that. So this is, there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of relevant information here.
So, yeah, so that's the church now.
Now, real quick, I didn't show these other 2 pictures for the farming area.
Okay.
But this is, again, with the hatchback. This
you
is
see
the
that
barn.
there's a second level on that barn where there's hay up there as well.
Which means
you can kind of go up there and
snipe, do whatever.
Yep,
and even,
shoot
I'm not
from the
sure
top.
if the background is meant to, if it's actually going to be Z2, but look at the tree line. You could totally sit in that tree line and snipe people from a distance.
Yeah, I mean, they still, the one thing that I would really see a benefit from is you see how there's between, like, let's say 20 feet out, 30 feet out there, you can see things.
Yeah.
Beyond that, they don't show any of the low grass, the lower grass.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they could do that from a distance to where you could actually hide in grass along, but they don't, the draw distance right now, it's still, they don't show those things. I mean, I understand it's an online game. It's very difficult to do that, but imagine if they still had that far out to where you could hide in the grass back there with your sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And still shoot people, because right now you would see that there's a person there and you wouldn't see any of the grass around them.
Exactly.
That's one thing that really takes it away for me. If they could figure that out.
Like DayZ, you could do that stuff.
Yeah, DayZ, like you could go hide on the mountain. You could run past somebody and not see them.
Yeah, exactly. And then the last shot here is a different perspective of the tractor. But yeah, this is this again with this farm, the tree line up here. You could totally sit in that tree line and snipe somebody from looking down. If this is one of the 10 or so 15 areas on the map that is really well developed besides the cities, or including the cities, I think that we're in, I mean, this is just one little area. This is just one little farmstead, and all of these things could be happening. Now imagine how this totally like rejuvenated my thoughts about H1Z seeing this, because I was like, holy crap, nothing like this exists in the game right now. There's nothing that looks like this.
So let's take, for instance, I mean, we talked a little bit about the church, but let's take for instance, the farm.
Yeah.
Bumjik Farm. Right now, they do have that campground out there that's kind of off a little bit. But if you go down to Bumjik Farm, it's pretty much either you're inside of the barn or you're outside of the barn.
And there's nothing inside the barn. It's just an open barn.
There's some hay bales sitting in there. But that's pretty much all there is. Like
there's no
I'm going to sneak around it, or
exactly.
I'm going to do anything. You're either in or you're out. And so you're either shooting at people that are inside of it, or you're outside of it being shot at from inside. Like that's the 2 options.
Yes.
Now you can see, like, you can work your way through all those bales. You can work your way through the buildings. You can hide inside of the corn. There's just a lot that's the kind of variety you need so that you can kind of try to sneak up on somebody and get a shot on them. So
yeah, lots of really, really cool stuff. And if this is an accurate representation of just a glimpse of Z2, you've got my full attention, Daybreak, because this is kick ass, this area. I don't know how the chat feels about it, and I know how you feel about it, Brian, but this is really, really inspiring and really got me pumping again for this game, because nothing like this exists on the current map. You go to the governor's mansion, and there's just that little brick wall around it. That's it. There's no other. You're either inside the house, outside the front of the house, or on the other side of the brick wall. There's like 2 or 3 different areas. There's no obstacles. There's nothing like that. So this is going to be.
Yeah, that's one thing this game has really lacked is having
obstacles.
Just that filler. I mean, obstacles, filler, things out there that you can kind of shoot from behind. I mean, it's right now it's either you're around a corner of a building, kind of bobbing back and forth. You're in a doorway. Maybe you can shoot through a window. But there's not really real life. Like if this were real life, I would be hiding behind things. I would, I'd be ducking behind things and shooting.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to have more of that on this one. So now, Sebastian put out another tweet, and they have been adjusting some of the different animations for zombies. So they had it to where when, let's say, a zombie is laying down on the ground, they have new animations for them getting up.
Yep.
And then also when they go and devour something, they've been adjusting those animations.
Yeah, they come over and actually like eat you now.
Yeah, so they're saying several new zombie spawn and devouring animations. So the spawn must be like you've got a dead zombie. Maybe they're going to have
look at the spawn. I mean, you can see them getting up,
laying down.
They're doing like push-ups here.
Yeah, like are they going to be having it to where a body is laying there now? Like they'll have a body that's laying on the ground, and then it will animate and come to life.
I think
like
they should. Like you can tell this guy right here on the left-hand side of the screen, he's crawling up from like the ground. It looks
one's
like
coming out of the dirt.
This guy in the left, all the way to the left, you can see him crawling out of the ground. He's not obviously
like out of a grave.
Yeah, out of a grave or something, and then they come up and then. But this animation is watch this animation of them all getting up. It's very, very unique. Every zombie's moving a little bit of a different way. How they're getting up. Like for example, the girl right here on the right puts 2 hands up and then instantly gets up. The guy to the left of her puts 2 hands up, then goes on his knees and then stands up. Different animations, different zombies, slower, faster, different speeds. They're spawning with different
variety, so that
there's going to be a whole bunch of variety. I mean, just think about how many different things you're going to have. 2 or 3 different 3 or 4 different spawn animations for each zombie. Some zombies are going to be slow, some are going to be fast. We've got the different types of zombies. They wear different loot. They have helmets and everything else. It's like there's at some point I would hope be a situation where in a horde of 10 zombies, none of them are really looking exactly the same. There's a bunch of different ones. So this is, again, really, really cool work here coming out of the Sebastian and the art team at Daybreak, because this is, again, like big stuff that people don't, aren't talking about. So there's a lot of big stuff here. So we'll keep an eye on it.
Now, do we want to cover this next one regarding, because it is kind of in the same fashion?
Yes.
So this was where chests now. Let's say someone goes and actually destroys your base, or
I'm playing this video while you talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you choose to destroy your own base. Let's say you destroy a foundation, but you left a chest in there that still has items. So rather than have everything go to a bag or something, they came up with a new method to where, and he's showing an example here, to where he goes to edit his base, he destroys the foundation, he moves over to the items, and they're all individually now laying on the ground.
Yep.
So things are not, you don't lose the loot when you destroy a foundation anymore. Also, let's say a foundation expires. Yeah, you can claim them, but let's say you don't want to go through. You don't want to go through and grab go through all the chests. You could just destroy it and then just have everybody pick up all the loot.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So
that's again, good stuff. A lot of good stuff coming out of the game.
And that is a Just Survive feature. I mean, like that. The only point to that is in Just Survive, so you can see they're actually starting to work.
Yes. On
Just Survive features, which is nice.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. So that's stuff coming out of there. Now this next thing, Brian, did you watch this whole video already? I tweeted it out. Actually, I think I sent it to you. This is a 13 or 14 minute video from let me get his name. B Dobbins FTW for the win. And he made this video, and it gets really deep. He starts talking about H1Z1, and then he starts talking about life, and it's when you watch it, it kind of progresses very quickly. But wrapped up with all of this new news that we've had this week, and the screenshots and everything else, I was kind of pumped up and ready to go with H1Z1. And somebody this week, I don't remember who it was. Actually, it was Stairwave tweeted me and Manpawns this video and said, "I'm sure you haven't seen this." And this guy goes on about H1Z1 a little bit. There's like an F-bomb or two in just the 3 minutes I'm going to play. It's a gaming video, so come to expect nothing the less.
So if you have kids and you want to skip it, you can hit.
It's like it'll be like 3 minutes.
You can hit forward on till the 3 minute mark on your thing, or mute it, or whatever.
Exactly. So we'll be back here in like 3 minutes. There'll be a link in the show notes at infectionpodcast.com. I really think you should go and watch this entire video because there's a whole lot of good stuff in here.
Cop car, get ready, cop car. What's going on, people? I am B Dobbins, FTW. And today, I wanted to talk about what modern gaming gets wrong, particularly the AAA mega titles like Black Ops 3 or Star Wars Battlefront. The gameplay you're watching is a really intense match of H1Z1 King of the Kill that I played the other day. I've cut out some of the slow parts to fit the video, but even if I hadn't, this match would demonstrate perfectly everything that gaming should be. Game developers today have forgotten the human element of gaming. Entertainment generally, but gaming especially, is about more than just being distracted. We want more than to just kill time. It is about more than just escaping boredom. It is about more than the absence of something negative. It is about attaining something positive. It's about fucking feeling something. So for those of you who haven't heard of H1Z1, it's basically an official version of the DayZ mod that was so popular back in the day, and I am hooked on this game like fucking crack. And what's funny is that on paper, this shouldn't be my type of game. This is the kind of game where on average you're getting, maybe 2 or 3 kills every half hour. It's quite often that you go a 45-minute match without killing anyone and then you get shot in the back. A lot of the time, if you're in a team, you'll die, and then you gotta wait a long-ass time for the rest of your team to die before you can start a new match. There's very long respawn times in this game, in the sense that there is no respawn time. You have to wait to start a new match. And as far as the diversity of experiences go, it's a pretty simple game. 90% of the gameplay revolves around 3 weapons. You got your shotgun, your semi-auto, your full-auto AK. No weapon customization or anything. There's no complex or new mechanics. You got your guns, you can get a car and drive around the map, and you gather very simple loot, med kits, body armor, ammo. You fight people and try to be the last guy standing out of 150.
Behind us, behind us, behind us.
And right now the game is in early access. It's just one map. It's a very bare bones type of game. There's not a wide variety of different experiences. There's not always something new to do. But what makes this game special is that every moment you spend in it is dripping with intensity. Even during those 45-minute matches when you don't kill anyone, the whole time you feel like this.
What is that? Who's shooting?
Oh my god! Look.
Stay alive, stay alive. I got one of them. I got one of these pieces of shit.
Help me, help me, help me. He's very low.
I got them both. I got them both. Watch out, watch out!
Whoa!
I got all 3 of them. Holy shit.
Oh, fuck.
Holy shit.
I was on 5%.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
Well played, Blade. I'm sorry they got you. That sucks.
You're on edge because you're afraid of death, because unlike in other games, there are very, very real consequences to death in this game when you fail. There's no respawning. When you die, it's game over. And it's not one of these things where you still take something from the match. You don't get XP, you don't level up, and unlock new things. There aren't any points that you can spend on some shit. You don't have stats. They don't even have leaderboards yet.
So there we go. There's a whole lot more in this video, but I am a huge Call of Duty person. I buy all of the. I spent almost $300 on the last version of Call of Duty to get this stupid mini fridge. I'm a big Call of Duty nut. I really play the games.
And how many drinks you have in that mini fridge?
I use it more as a cooler. There's nothing in it.
Yes.
Plus, it makes noise. That makes noise, but I do use it.
Did you turn off the thing that says something every time you open and close?
Yeah,
the
well,
door?
it's off right now. It's not even on. It's not even plugged in. So this video, Brian, I'll give my reaction on it. I haven't talked to you about it yet. I want to hear what you have to think about just that first 3 minutes of the video.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, okay, so I understand where he's coming from. I'm not really a huge Call of Duty fan, and I think what he said, what I was understanding that he was saying, was that, with that it's more of just a, killing, and it's a very mechanical type of layout of you just go, you kill, you die, you come back. With this, that's the beauty of what I think a lot of us found in H1Z1 was we would go through, we would be going as a group, we would die, like there was that total anxiety of, if we all wipe, we're gonna lose all our stuff. And that's the kind of game I like, where there's the actual feeling of risk and loss. And that's something that, when they go through and make things too easy, I think I complained about this when I first started not playing this game, was, when they started making it too easy to get gear, too easy to get these things. Like this is what he's seeing in here, is that total adrenaline of, I may lose everything, that is what makes you want to play again, is when you get that. And he was explaining the whole buildup of going through like a BR win of, I just killed 10, like there's only 10 people left.
Yeah, and he killed three, and he killed 3 people in that one setting and lost
right
one
in
of
a
his
row.
friends.
Like,
yeah,
you're totally and he was talking about an investment. Like you're getting invested in this at that point, to where you actually feel mad or upset when you lose.
Yeah, and
if you look at like CS:GO, like you could care less if you die. Like you're just going to reset, 30 seconds to a minute, 2 minutes later.
Exactly.
And who cares? I died. I'm going to start over with whatever I had. Like that's something you get out of this. I don't even know that H1Z1 takes it as much as they could. Like I don't think they take it as far as they could, but it is that feeling. This is a very similar thing with DayZ.
Yeah.
Like when you lose everything in DayZ, it's like, I'd worked so hard for that gun, for that ghillie suit. Like it took me a while to get all that together, and I just lost it all. Yeah. This sucks.
And while his stuff is specifically about King of the Kill, the argument's still the same for Just Survive and everything else. The one thing he said that I really liked was he said it's dripping with I don't remember the exact word that he used, but it was like emotion or something like that. And dripping with intensity is what he said. And it's true. The whole 40-minute gameplay from start to finish. When Brian, you've played King of the Kills, and I know like other people in our group. When you see other people in King of the Kill, you instantly get a feeling. Like there's instantly some type of feeling inside your body. It's like you don't tense up, but there's a feeling like, okay, here is an interaction that I have to deal with. In Call of Duty, every time I see a person, I don't freak out. But like I think everybody, or at least myself, you have that like a little internal freak out for just half a second. That like, hey, I now have to interact with a person, and if I lose and they kill me, I'm SOL and I have to play again. Like I if I'm 20 minutes into the match or I'm 2 minutes into the match, I have to restart completely. I have to go back to the lobby. I have to wait. I have to re-queue up the people I'm playing with. It's a total reset. They're
30 to 45 minute games. Like if you live, like they can be really quick, short games.
And I have that feeling, and even if it's like instantly right off the bat, I instantly get that feeling when I see other people. That little panic that you get, or the feeling in your stomach, that it's the emotion of this game, and you don't have that in, like he says, Call of Duty, Battlefront, Battlefield. You don't have that because and in Call of Duty, unless you're playing Capture the Flag or Search and Destroy, you instantly respawn. You press X and you can go from dead, getting shot and killed, to back and killing that person in, depending on the size of the map, 10 to 30 seconds, and you can be exactly where you were and killing that person again. Now, they're two different games, but I think that's something that we totally don't even think about, is how this game makes you play.
Now, this is one thing I remember trying to explain to you a long time ago, but with the example of World of Warcraft. Over time, WoW, this is what WoW used to feel like. It used to be a total investment. You put in a ton of time. You put in a lot of effort. You guys wiped and just had to start totally over so many times. But it, as he said in this video, it put that investment in there. Like it made you have that intensity of, I'm going to beat this.
Yeah.
They made it so cookie cutter now that you pretty much are like, oh, well, if I lose, that's a rarity. Most likely you're going to get through it. There's not that risk and just grinding of like, I'm going to beat this and we're going to work together till we get it. And then that accomplishment that you then get afterwards is what they took out. And for me, that took it out of the game. Games like Call of Duty, maybe that's why I don't enjoy them so much, is because I don't get as invested in it as you're saying.
And you don't.
I just don't feel like okay, if I die, what's the difference?
Yeah, I play a lot of Call of Duty, and I really enjoy it. I really do. I already pre-ordered 2 copies of the next one. I really like it, but I never made that connection. It's not that I never made the connection. I made the connection. I just never. This guy put my thoughts out in a video or down on paper. The differences between these games and what he says. The title of this video is "What H1Z1 King of the Kill Can Teach Call of Duty Infinite Warfare." And it's the fact that there's no loss. There's no sense of, and he says it right before I pause the video, like, when you die, there's nothing that goes to your next match. There's no experience. There's not even leaderboards. There's nothing. Every match is its own individual game that is separate from every other game you will play. Nothing you do in this game besides a skin, which
now they actually are starting to get some of those leaderboards back, because I actually looked up at the leaderboards.
Oh, do they actually work?
Some of them are actually working.
Okay, so this was May.
Surprised.
He made this on May 7th, and on May 7th the leaderboards were not working. You can guarantee.
Yeah, I mean,
that.
I looked up at when we went. I played a couple games in the past week or something, and I looked up and it's like, oh, there's actually names up there.
Not
and
coming
they're,
soon,
you know,
coming soon.
Yeah,
soon.
they had like total kills.
Mm-hmm.
Overall time or whatever, or maybe like I didn't see that there was a time limit. And then like the day's kills, like the max kill or wins.
Oh, really?
They had it like total wins, like the week kills. They had a number of different leaderboards up there that actually had names up there. So you can check it out next time you go into the King of the Kill.
I'll have to look at that again.
Yeah, I just looked up and some of not all of them were there yet. Some still said, coming soon or whatever, but some of them are actually filled out.
Yeah, so I would very, very strongly recommend after this show you go and watch this video because it's really, really good. And then I'm actually going to rewatch it probably after the show because I've watched it twice now and I want to watch it a third time. It's a really, really good video.
Motivation.
It's not. It's not even motivational, but it's just the idea, like the video goes the video right after this goes so deep into like actual life and death, and it's very, very interesting how it all kind of wraps up. So I subscribe to this guy. It's B Dobbins FTW. There'll be a link in the show notes, and I highly recommend you check this video out. And I want to thank Stairwave for sending this because I would have never seen it, and it totally wouldn't have influenced me the way it did. So, which sounds kind of cheesy, but.
Now, here's something that's not quite as much on a happy note.
Yes, and that's why I put this here, because I know that if you're an H1Z, if you hate H1Z1, Brian has got a bunch of... I clicked on these links before the show, and I was like, oh, man, this is not going to go well. Actually, do you want to do the game giveaway? You want to announce that now? Because
yeah, let's go ahead and
47
announce it now,
minutes into the show, so we might...
Yeah, so this way we can actually...
Yeah.
So let me actually get the link in there first, just so as I can continue talking through this and not have it... All right, so this game is going to be Kane and Lynch. The keyword is going to be Kane, all lowercase. So if you just type Kane in chat, and then I'll have a link to the actual Steam.
Gotcha. Kane in chat.
Yeah, so if you type Kane, all lowercase, it's the Kane and Lynch collection. And so this one has the Kane and Lynch 1, the Kane and Lynch 2, and then a number of skin packs.
Gotcha.
That come along with it. So yeah, so this has Kane and Lynch Dead Men, which was the first one. Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days, which I've played through that whole one. It's very good. The graphics are really good for the time. It's got a really interesting story that, I mean, it's one of those stories that kind of pull you along the whole time. You actually feel like you're going through a story, which I really like. It's not one where you just feel like you're doing a level. Like, yeah, the whole time they're pushing a story and they're pushing you along. So
there you go.
Yeah. So this right now, it's been out for a while. So this one's $20, pretty much currently a $20 game. Usually this stuff's about $30 to get it. But bundled like this right now, you could get it for $20. So we're giving it away for free today. So this is the Kane and Lynch collection, comes with 2 games and then all the DLCs.
Yes, sir. There we go.
So very good. And then, yeah, so that'll be a Humble Bundle gift key. And so when someone wins that, I will gift it away. So
cool, yeah.
All right. So someone had made a post on Reddit regarding the female fashion. So this kind of, I've been harping on the female or on the fashion, how they've been dealing with fashion inside of H1Z1 anyways.
Okay.
So one thing they said is, what's up with the women's tight fashion? So they pretty much says 90% of the pants that they have in here are tight. People made some comments. The reason that they're tight is because that's easier to model on the character. Because all you have to do is just make something that's skin tight and put a texture over it,
Yeah.
and bam, you have pants.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
It's a lot harder to put the folds of like a loose fitting pant. It's a lot harder to model.
It just takes more time.
It takes a lot more time to do and a lot more skill to do. And so that, once again, they're just pointing at that they're taking the shortcut like they did with their original map. There's a lot of things that are just thrown in there together. If you look at how they do a lot of their skins, like they're pumping out there's some that you can tell they're just pumping out because they're all like tights. Like, why are they putting so many tights? Because they're really easy to make.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's literally just a sleeve with a pattern on it.
Yes. And so I decided, well, let's kind of look over the history.
Well, I wonder how you found all this stuff. You must have really,
from
the
was
deep depths
frustrated.
of hell, trying to find all this stuff.
Yes.
Because these are very old tweets. Stuff on Twitter is not easy to recall.
I started
on a
because
dime.
I wanted to see, like, what did they promise and where are we? Right.
Jeez.
So if you look at, here's something they posted 6 months ago, and this was supposed to be a hair that they were looking at putting in. Said they're modeling this hair to put in the game, and this is more difficult because it actually drapes over clothing. It's a lot harder when they do a ponytail. That's easy. When they do really short haircuts, that's easy. And what have they done so far? They've done ponytails, right?
Yep, ponytails and buzz cuts.
Yep. And so if you look, like this is one that, but then also if you look at like the outfit, I don't think that's anywhere in there.
No.
This character's not anywhere in there, but this was some hair that they had gone through and said they were going to do. And so that's one look. Now, if you go to 1 year ago, this was something that they had modeled, saying, we're looking at doing this for the fashion of the male. Have you, other than the boots, which don't look anything like that? I mean, you do have pants, but that's not how they look. Right?
No, and these pants, I can't tell because the picture's so. Actually, I can make this picture bigger. Actually, it's the same size. There's like red and green, like green being like grass and like the dirt, and then red being the blood. There's the bagginess, like
there's texture.
Yeah, like right below. Like where the butt would be, there's like these little wrinkles that are going up and down by the shoe. Like
it's got a wristwatch with a compass in it.
Yeah, even how it falls on the front of the boots, you can see like how it overlays over the top of the boots, and even around the crotch area, you can see it's more than just a straight like the tights, which is just a straight overlay of the player model. There's actually something there.
Now, Joe says that, hey, they might be for Z2. This was a year ago.
No, this is not for Z2. This was
posted a year ago.
This was
when they started putting out skins. This is what they were saying that characters were going to look.
Yeah, and even look at the shirt. I didn't even look at the shirt. How it's a rolled up long sleeve T-shirt where everything rolls up just above just above your elbow. The shirt would be all rolled up there, like how that would look.
Yeah. So that is the six. That's the build up that they gave me when they said, "Here's what we want characters to look like."
Okay.
Right. So let's go to the first one. There's today. This is what characters look like in game.
Oh, Brian, where did you find? Who is this?
He's just a guy who plays H1Z1 who posts stuff on the internet. So this.
What was your search term to find this?
H1Z1 outfits.
Okay.
Yeah,
he looks like a freaking ranger. He looks like
that look anything like that character that they modeled and promised?
Looks like a Power Ranger with antlers.
And these are all like off of the same. This is out of the same chest.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, this is the flow that they're giving us on purpose. It's not like someone's taking a skin out of different things and putting them together because they clash. This is the same one. If you won that chest and you put all that stuff on, this is what you look like.
Well, the antlers was the holiday award.
Well, yeah. Because they didn't put it. I mean, other than this, I don't know if this was the wrestling mask one. Maybe it would.
No, that's the
that's
toxic. That's the toxic.
If you look,
yeah,
he's got the toxic one on. He did add the helmet to it, but still, I mean, it still would look.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like all of this stuff is in the game, and
this is all stuff.
Everybody has those antlers. That was like the holiday giveaway. Everybody has that.
He actually matches. Like he's going for the matchy thing.
The purple. Yeah, purple.
He's got a little purple in the chest guard and all the stuff. Like this is the game. If you want to match, this is what you look like.
Yeah.
And so this is somebody, and this is a current picture. This is what it looks like right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then there's another one. And so just to show that this isn't just one outfit, let's go to another one of their ones they released. This is the next chest. This is their advertisement. This isn't even someone putting something together to look funny. This is what they released.
Oh, this is the wrestling crate. Yes.
Yeah. Look at that thing. Like, why do people in a zombie apocalypse look like that? They're not even going for the, like, you know, with Mad Max, like you still haven't seen Mad Max, have you?
No, and I didn't like the game either. But I know the look. I know the art style.
You know the look though.
Yes,
you've seen like that was going with something that was kind of unique and different.
Yes.
Like this isn't even that. Like they're not going for a weird, like in Mad Max, it was kind of like a weird bondage style, like just a weird, you know, they're playing in the degenerate type of a thing. There's the guys who were in that fringe. This is just like, why would people be wearing luchador masks in a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah. Now I think
why would they have a wrestling belt around their chest?
That part, I am fine with that stuff in King of the Kill, because that is more of an arcadey.
Yes.
Like,
but the problem is these have poured over, and these.
It's not. They haven't poured over. They started.
Well, they started over there, and now they're split, and now they're in
exactly.
both. But the problem for me is they are totally ruining my. I always talk about immersion, but they're totally ruining. I cannot have a fluid, just flow of immersion of playing the game and feeling like I'm not totally pulled out when I run across someone like this.
What I said when the game split was they need to take all of the stuff out, all of the skins, every single one of them out of Just Survive, and leave them all in King of the Hill, but get rid of every single one of them in Just Survive, and then add real skins. Because here's the thing, those new maps, while they look great, they're gonna look really stupid when you have people running around like they're a reindeer in the middle of a farm. Like, that's totally doesn't fit the scene at all. And I wonder if that is coming, because I really have to think that somewhere, somehow, somebody is thinking, what the hell are we doing with these skins inside of the survival game?
Do you really think, though? Like, there's got to be people that are making these skins that are thinking to themselves,
the skins are fine.
But the thing is, like, they're paying people that are talented to make these things. And if it were me, I'd be thinking to myself, talk about a waste of my time.
No, I disagree. I completely disagree.
That's what I would think.
I think that's you have the wrong attitude there. The skins are good. The skins
creating a nice flow. I'd be embarrassed to say, "Hey, look, I made that."
No, the skins that they are making,
I made that luchador mask.
The skins that they are making are good. They're good skins for a certain game.
For a wrestling game.
Yeah, but that's the point. That's what you're saying. It's not like they're shitty skins.
That's what I'm saying.
Skins are good.
They're talented guys making these skins. They're making quality material.
Yeah, it's nothing to be embarrassed.
Time making just stupid stuff.
They need to be put in King of the Kill and taken out of Just Survive. Just Survive is a survival game. King of the Kill is a shoot 'em up, arcadey, survival-esque game where the games last 40 minutes. It doesn't matter how you dress, because at the end, everybody's in a little confined area surrounded by green. It doesn't matter how you dress. It's irrelevant. So all the skins need to be in that game, but they need to get these stupid, and this ECW or EZ, whatever the hell
I don't even know why they shouldn't release them for both. I mean, they
should. There should be
I just
none.
feel like they're not realizing
Survive.
that they're going downhill fast. Like it's like a snowball rolling down a hill
with these crates.
Like,
it's only going to get
stop
worse.
it. They need to stop it on the survival part now. Like before,
it's
they've
too late
sold
for
so many in there, and then people are mad about.
Well, that's the problem. With the split, they could have done it. But
they should have done it then.
They should have.
And they should have. They should have. What they should have done is gone through when there was a limited number. The problem is they're going to release so many skins that for them to go around and then say, all right, for all of your skins in Just Survive, we're going to release a survival looking one. That's a lot of work. Like they should have stopped then, mirrored all of the ones that are just stupid and ridiculous, you know, that don't fit in the survival theme. Made a survival version of that and said, all right, here you go. You have your versions now. They're splitting here. Here's the ones that are in King of the Kill. Here's the ones that are in Just Survive. Let's split them here, and then we'll go and we'll keep the theme going. Like keep all the, as you said, keep all the ridiculous wild, have people wearing bright outfits because that's what they like to do in King of the Kill.
Yeah, it adds to part of it adds to the
wild, crazy, let's kill them all attitude.
Exactly.
But then for me, why would I want to go play Just Survive in this? Like when I go and play like DayZ, for instance, it has a feel. Like you don't see people running around like this.
Yeah.
I don't know of anything in like DayZ, not that DayZ is everything has to be like DayZ, but at least they held on to that. Even in Miscreated, like there's different colors, but that nothing stands out, and it's just like, oh, what is up with that person?
Yeah.
I really think they've shot themselves in the foot and gone on chasing the money train of chests and skins so far that I don't think they're going to recover from this to make it to where, because for me, this is going to pull away so much from my enjoyment of Just Survive that it's just not going to be the same for me. I can't get that feeling because that's what I always want to get in a game, is that feeling of just feeling like I'm in it. I'm there. I'm not going to be able to get that with this. When people are running around like this, I just got shot by a guy wearing reindeer and antlers and a pig mask. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it for me, and I don't know if they will be able to do it for me. I don't think they're not gonna be able to get me to come back and say this makes sense. There's no way they can make it make sense to me. I mean, I don't. It's not that I'm gonna be like, oh, this is awful, but they just can't make it make sense. There's no way to make that fit for me. It's always gonna be pulling me out.
Okay.
So
yeah, all valid points. All valid points.
Yeah, I just think that they've gone too far, and unless they do a total reset, but you can imagine the chaos.
Yeah, because like the
people have paid a lot of money.
Well, the first person that comes to my mind is like Internet Chick, who used to play with us. I specifically remember her spending a lot of money for a Twitch hoodie. Like I want to say upwards of $50 for a Twitch hoodie. And like even like for men, like he bought every single skin on every single pack.
They've gone. That's why I've been saying, but they've gone too far now. Like, there's no way for them to turn it around without creating 100 new skins. But then people are still not going to be happy because they're not the same as the one that they paid.
No,
how are they going to guarantee that it's going to be as much value as the other one? They're not.
They're not. So it's interesting. They're going to have to figure something out. So
I think that they've gone to the point where they don't care anymore. I don't think they
care.
care.
I disagree. I think they do care. But you
think someone would sit in a meeting and bring this up?
I'm sure they've already brought it up. But like you just said, you now have your game is already, I'm just gonna. The game's already failing. Nobody's playing it. And then what you're gonna do is for the 2,000 people that play Just Survive is you're gonna take all their skins away. That's the last thing they need. They need to build this game up and do something and then get rid of it.
I think personally, I think it was a lack of vision a long time ago.
I agree it was a lack of vision. I totally agree it was a lack of vision, but you can't just cut this out cold turkey. It will not work. It will only piss people off even more, and they're already pissed off.
Now, okay, what if they had a role-playing server that went... Okay, so here is a solution.
Okay.
Right? I hate... We've talked about it before. If you're going to complain about something, at least be willing to put forth a solution.
Yes.
I have a solution. Role-playing servers that have a limited skin set. You can only apply certain skins inside of a role-playing server.
But I don't even think this isn't even about RP. These people aren't trying to role-play.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is that would be a good starter test. You would get a lot of people that would be willing to play on that just to avoid all this. Yeah. Have limited skin server. You don't even have to call it role-play, but you have a server where it's a realism server.
Yeah.
Just like in Ark, they have their, they have the ones that are the prehistoric style. You don't have anything that has laser guns and things like that. Have ones that are realism servers. You could call them realism servers. Just say, all right, I'm going to have it to where things are going to look realistic. I would never see anyone who looks like either of those two pictures running around my town without being arrested, probably. They're going to say something's wrong with this person. The cop's going to go talk to him. That's just how, maybe here at least. I don't know about New York.
Well, yeah, it depends. It depends if you're on a college campus or not. No, I agree. I completely agree with everything you're saying. You hit the nail on the head. But unfortunately, while you're point is good, and I totally agree with it. I just don't. There's no easy solution for them to do this without pissing off the already pissed off community. Yeah. It only ends poorly for them. Maybe with the launch of Z2, this is something they relook at, because at that time you'll have a new map. Right now, if they just did that, it'd be like, well, people would just be like, well, you know what? Screw this shit. I'm never playing this game again. I spent all this money and now all my stuff's gone. At least with Z2, there's like hey, we're getting rid of your skins that you may have paid for. Well, they're still in King of the Kill. You paid for them. But hey, we got this brand new map. And maybe that's the... You can't just cut something out without giving something.
I think the easiest way to do it would be with server rule sets. They need to get their server rule sets to where.
And they talk about that in the producer updates. They are working on server rule sets and game modes and everything.
But this could be a server rule set of even being able to limit. Here's skins that you can put in. Like here's skins that you can use. Like just limit some of the crates. Say I don't want this crate in here. I don't want this crate in here.
Blood Cord, true survival mode. No weird no weird skins. Dangerous zombies. A bite is pretty
lethal. Yeah. Maybe it'll even infect you to a point of you have a very limited amount of time to try to
a realistic loot balance. Yeah, I would be more willing to play on a true survival server. Not that I'm not big with the whole immersion thing, but like that picture you showed, like this picture is insane. Like there's under no circumstances in Just Survive should somebody be running around like that. That's just I'm not into immersion, but that's just plain out stupid. Like there's nothing else to say besides
it just takes away so much from my feeling of enjoyment of it that
you hate it because of it.
I just
to an extent
it makes me mad. It's like especially when someone like that kills you and then they're running on your body taunting you, that kind of thing for me would just say, all right, I'm not playing anymore today. Like that's just stupid.
Exactly. So enter Kane in chat. We got what's he got? Like one or two more H1Z1 things, and then we'll be moving on. Now this last thing has to, you're just really, I had a lot of stuff going with the video and all the positivity and all the new things, and then Brian, you have totally done a 180 from what you were before, because you would have been me and I would have been you.
I know,
and we totally changed.
Sorry. So,
which picture do you want me to show first? The first one or the second one?
Yeah, show the first one. So this is.
Do you like his hat?
Yeah, and of course there's a Christmas. There is a Santa hat to top it all off on this person. It's just exactly what we're talking about not in the middle of summer or coming up on summer. So here's somebody who's placed foundation after foundation after foundation on top of each other. So this is the current base building system. They're no longer even making bases. They're just putting foundations off of each other. So you can drive and park your car underneath a stack of foundations. So, and they put some gates on there for effect, I think. But, and then here's another picture to show that it's not just one time that this has happened. Here's somebody else who has just built a ton of gates.
Gates on gates on gates.
It's just gates on gates on gates. And you can see somebody flying if you look in the distance.
I think he's
background.
jumping. I don't know if he's jumping or flying.
Nope. If you look, he's too far high above anything to be jumping. If you look, he's way out there flying above his base.
Yes.
Isn't that sweet?
This is very
Makes me
sweet.
really want to go play survival right now.
I'm sure it does. Let's see if I can zoom in any closer on this.
Yeah. I mean, if you look, he's...
Oh, yeah, he's totally flying.
He's flying over the top of his base. So
yes,
that he has built just hundreds and hundreds of gates to make.
That's it.
So that is the current state of H1Z1 survival. And they're going to have to fix this stuff. But for me to play again, and this is something that I'm just making a statement. For me to play again, this is prime example. These two things. The way that people look and the fact that people can do this and fly around their base for fun.
Yeah. So,
I mean, to me, it just takes away from it.
Now, there is a lot of good stuff. I hope that besides all this, Brian, I hope Z2 and the new the way that the no clipping works now with chess, I think that's stuff in the right direction to do that. So you can get that in there. So that is all of H1Z1.
No, well, no. There's one more thing I put in there that.
Yeah, this is interesting.
So this is something that we ran across. You had actually pointed it out to me
Last week,
a week or two ago.
Yeah. This is done by Twin Galaxies, who do.
You ever watch King of Kong, the documentary King of Kong?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was all based around like all the Twins Galaxies.
Yeah. So they started in like the 80s it was some guy that was like. It was like doing like the Guinness World Records of like for video games. He was keeping high scores in arcades and everything. Fastest time. It was like the first like speed running. It was like that's what he was doing. And now they've they still do that, but now they're doing this Twin Galaxies Lives thing.
They have a huge arcade there still.
Yeah. And they're doing this. They do a thing every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern, called Taunt Fest. And real quickly, what they do is they have one of the people in studio sit down at a computer and play, and in chat you guess what the position that person is going to finish the game in. And if you get,
what point are they going to die?
Yeah, what point are they going to die? What number out of 150? And if you get it right, you win a prize or whatever. And they have a lot. Obviously, they work with H1Z1 because they have a bunch of free gear and hats and shirts and a bunch of cool stuff.
I did. There was a post where somebody had been sent some H1Z1 swag.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't post that in there because.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Who cares? So yeah, our only H1Z1 swag came from Landgun, who custom made us shirts. Yeah.
Yeah, we had it printed up ourselves.
Yeah. And, yeah, and our infection logo with the H1Z1, the old H1Z1 logo. So yeah, that's Taunt Fest. You can check it out at tglive.com Thursday nights.
And it's actually a lot of fun to
cool.
watch.
Yeah.
And you can win things. I the first time I went in there, I was like, I'm so confused. I don't know what's
Brian
happening.
Was like,
people were
Brian was all over the place. He's like, oh yeah, I won. Oh no, I didn't win. No, he won. No, he didn't win. He's like confusing everybody. It was a disaster.
Yeah, but the thing is I put in a guess. I didn't know all the rules. Like I just was like, I have no idea what's going on. And I see people guessing numbers, so I just typed in a number, and it was the winning number.
Yeah, but
someone like 10 seconds earlier had typed in the same number.
Yeah, you missed out.
And so I didn't win. I was like, I swear that I typed in that number. I just was like, whatever. I just typed in a random number, and I had to go look at what I typed. And I'm like, dude, I did win. But then they're like, no. And I didn't know there was all these rules of, they're looking at someone typed it in 10 seconds early and they won.
Yes. Oh well.
But it was a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yeah, it was cool. They do it every week, so good stuff there. We want to roll for Kane.
Yes. So this is for Kane and Lynch, 1 and 2, and all of the add-ons. So. All right, so our winner for this one was Bloodcore.
Nice. Congrats, Bloodcore.
So Bloodcore has won this one, and I will send that to you, a link to you. So
yeah, and now breaking news, I should say lack of breaking news. There were no ARC updates at all this week. No official updates. Now they did announce a whole bunch of stuff that is coming the week of June 1st, which is so
this is actually tomorrow.
Which
that's why I put it in here.
Yeah.
Because
so
there is a lot of stuff coming.
Yeah, they've got 2 new dinosaurs that are coming. A new mechanic called Permanent Disease, where you'll have a permanent disease and you have to cure the disease. It's not like being dehydrated or hot and you can just go in the water and it goes away. It's a permanent thing and you have to treat it. There's biome updates, the new snow expansion, the new redwood
this is going to be a big snow expansion in the redwoods,
and we've talked about a lot of this stuff in the past. Tribe groups phase 2, support for non-admin invites, so that you can. The way that this is going to work is, like, if you're a rank, you can invite people to the group, but they're, I think, a lower rank.
You don't have to be an admin to actually do it.
And I believe that they're a lower. They'll be like a tier below
they'll
you.
They'll
or
be the
something
starting
like
rank.
Yeah, exactly. And then an admin could level them up and promote them, so that you can do that, which is kind of really cool. Prevent dino and taming.
The thing is, multi-seat saddles now will have an option to enable public seating, so you can do like a dino taxi service. So you can pick people up.
I think that's pretty neat, because there is. While the game is a survival PvP game, there was plenty of times where we were before we pissed everybody off, interacting with other groups, and there was probably situations where that would have been useful to have be able to pick other people up and be able to do that stuff. So that's kind of cool.
And then they added. Actually, what point did you stop here? I don't want to jump in.
The dragon, they're adding the dragon. I imagine we're going to
The
cover
dragon arenas.
I imagine we're going to cover all this stuff in more detail
Yes.
next week with the patches. So I don't know how much more of this you want to actually.
Well, we
go
can cover
through.
some more. I just wanted to show it that that tomorrow there's going to be a huge patch. The main thing is going to be that map.
Yeah.
The map is going to be a huge deal because that is going to be a big
Oh,
workover.
by the way,
for-
I skipped over the first thing. Ark's awesome anniversary 1 week event. Get ready to make some birthday wishes for limited run items. So that's big
yes.
stuff for.
So they're
people
actually
like
doing
that.
this one for a full week. That's something
Yeah.
we did complain about in the past is that they would do something and it'd be such a short time
3
span.
days, and it's like a
They'd be like, all right, we're going to do
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then it's gone.
Yeah, Valentine's Day event.
Yeah.
That
Is
the
on
countdown
Valentine's
for it
Day.
is 24 hours. So you have to make it actually work. You have to start the countdown at exactly midnight with a manual command on your server, and then have it be to where everybody has to be in there at a certain time.
And it's
Like, they're actually
Valentine's Day,
doing it before.
nevertheless, which means like
Yeah,
you're
and
not
so, like,
home.
if you are in a video game and you're not with your wife that night, you're in trouble already.
Yeah, your
you know, it's
significant
just-
other is not liking that you're looking at your.
Oh,
you're
honey, I've got to go do the Valentine's.
yeah,
Day
I
event.
got to take part in the Valentine's Day event on Ark. Just
Can't have
make,
dinner with you.
make a hamburger helper or something like that. Treat
Yeah.
yourself.
If you could make me dinner, that'd be great. Then.
Yeah, get some Kraft macaroni and cheese. Yeah, it'd
So-
be a great night.
Yeah, so that one is actually going to be a week.
Made
for their
absolutely no sense.
Anniversary. So this is the 1 year anniversary, right? That it's
Yeah.
been out for 1 year. So
Cool stuff.
yeah, and then they're adding a number of different dinosaurs, and this time adjusting dinosaurs. So that we'll go overall. So next week we should have. I mean, they may push this out. You know how they are with patches. This may be the June 2nd, the June 3rd,
Yeah.
something like that.
So,
But they'll
this
get
is-
it out before next week.
This is exactly what happens with H1Z when they release a blog post saying all the stuff they're gonna do, and then there's a detailed run, an actual detailed post. So we'll
Jada
cover.
Lawyer says maybe Ark will cook you dinner. Well, I can cook dinner inside of Ark.
Yeah, you
and
could. You
that'll-
could cook some meat
Valentine's
up
Day
inside of
dinner.
Ark. Yeah, that'll be good. Now this next thing here, Brian, is there. I still don't like how some people are still using forums. They're so hard to keep track of, and so many. It's worse than Reddit. Just regular
Yeah.
forums. So what is this, Brian? This is a new dinosaur that we're looking at.
Yeah, so this is going to be the Pelagornis, I think is
And
the
this is going to
pronunciation.
be. This is not going to be added.
This
this
isn't
week.
being added right
No,
now. So
this
this
is-
is
they
them
announced.
just announcing that there is going to be one of these,
Cool, yeah.
putting it on their list. So
Yeah.
they think they've caught up with a lot of the past ones. But yeah, so this is going to be rideable. It's not going to be for attacking. And then if you look, do you see where it has a little icon in the upper right where it has like something bouncing off of it?
Yeah, it looks like what it looks like. If I had to just guess,
Okay,
I-
you guess, and then I'll tell you what I think it is.
do you actually know what it is?
Not exactly.
Okay.
But
I feel like that looks like a piece of ground, and I think that you get stamina back by touching the ground. I don't think you have to wait. That's what I would guess.
Okay.
What is it actually?
Okay, so because of its web feet, it allows it to serenely maneuver along the ocean surface, preventing it from snatching prey from the ground, which may limit its appeal to some survivors. So
So it's
there's something
water-based.
about how you can go and you can maybe do a quick turn or something. I think that's it hitting the water. Like it affects how you move.
It can hover. It can almost walk on water with its ducked feet instead of like in the current bird. If you touch the water, the bird flies away. The bird takes off
you
to
can hit the
40,000
water.
feet, and you fall into
Yep.
the water and you lose the bird. That's exactly
You can hit the
what
water
happens.
and use it to like move around differently. So
Yes.
that's
Looks
what,
like a deflection
from what
off
I
the
can
water.
tell. Yes, so that's what I can tell that is. I mean,
It
I'm
is,
assuming that's what
'Cause
that picture is.
if you look at the picture of the bird, it's actually on the water with its webbed feet, so that makes sense.
It looks like it actually lands on the water and then takes off from the water. Is that maybe a safe bet?
Yeah, it sounds like that. I
Because
thought
if you look at the picture of the lower left, like he's sitting in the water, which no other bird does right now.
no,
So
no.
maybe you could land on the water,
Yeah,
actually sit on it, kind of like what you would with a dolphin or
yeah, kind of
something.
float. Yeah,
Float on the top, and then you can continue to fly off.
And then
That'd be a really cool effect.
that makes sense. That icon makes sense. So cool. This will be coming.
So yeah, Dan Unicorn just saying land on water.
Yeah, sometime in the future, this will be in. They announce this stuff and then add it. So cool stuff there from Ark.
Yep, and that's pretty much the main arc. I did watch a video that has it an interview with the guy who does the level design on it.
Yeah.
He was just going over kind of talking about, but there wasn't anything really new that they released, so I didn't post it in here, and it was probably about 45 minutes long. So
there you go. Now, ready for the bombshell. We're an hour 20 into the show, and I'm very, very sorry because the wait is still on for No Man's Sky, which was just delayed until August 9th. In a blog on the Sony PlayStation blog, the developer from Hello Games said that we have to delay the launch until August 9th, domestically in the US, and August 12th if you're in the UK. They know that the news is disappointing, so on and so forth. At the end of the day, this is better for if the game wasn't done.
If it comes out more polished,
if they
have something that they're still trying to get worked out, like they need to wait until it's ready.
Yeah.
That's the tough thing with these games. They put these promised dates out.
Yeah.
And then I'd hate to have them feel like, oh, well, we're going to not put in some features, or we're going to have to not have this as polished as we want just to make that date. I'd rather have it when it's ready.
Yeah.
We'll announce it.
It is. And I think that's what that's the whole point of this. There's something big, presumably like a massive issue or a massive mechanic of the game that is not fully ironed out, and if they release it, you only get one release unless you're Russ and you can release twice, but you really only get for a title like this that isn't like early access, you only get one release.
If it flops on launch,
and if you screw yourself on the release, the game will fail and you're never going to make any money. And especially with the hype for this game, it needs to be perfect. So like on the internet, what do people do? They threaten to kill the developer, because what other logical explanation? But at least the guy that runs Sean, the guy that runs the No Man's Sky Twitter, says he has received a lot of death threats this week, but don't worry, the Hello Games, which is the company, now looks like the house from Home Alone. Hashtag Pillow Fort. Some guy tweeted him.
Here, you want me to read this one that this guy sent him?
Yeah, go ahead if you want to. You can read it.
Your little article about No Man's Sky being delayed has made me hate you to my very core. It's the only thing I live for. And you go and write that BS about a delay instead of visiting London later this month. I think I'll come by and say hi to you and F you up. So he says, be afraid, human. We are coming for you.
Now, I can't tell if this is like the fact that he said, be afraid, human. We are coming for you kind of just instantly is like troll post. And the fact that he says it's the only thing he lives for, which the game's not even out. So you can't say that's the only thing you live for.
Well, and he says, you think you can get away with this that easy? Making fun of our Reddit page also? Oh no, it's a Redditor.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have a death wish. We will find you. So
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
God, man, like what the hell is wrong with gamers, man? They're just such, I'm going to say it, they're just such assholes constantly. Nobody is ever nice. Everybody is always mean, Brian. Always. Every game, they're just always nasty, nasty people. The H1Z1 subreddit,
game.
Case in point. Everybody's nasty. I'm nasty myself, but it's awful.
One nice thing is that, like, here's one thing that they did right in WoW is people on each side couldn't talk to each other.
Okay.
So there was no smack talk. Like, you can actually talk to the guy that you're killing, and it cut down on that so much.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, everybody's making it so that you can trash talk everybody and just trying to make
or Twitter DM somebody and threaten to kill them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just created an atmosphere of people feeling like they have the right to do this. Like, I'm going to trash talk you now. Or people feel like they're anonymous on the internet.
Yeah, which is the worst part of it because you're not. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not. I mean, there will be FBI agents knocking on that guy's door. I mean, that's just the way life works.
Yeah, and that's the stuff you never hear about is like after like, you see this stuff and it's like, oh, this is so funny. But like I've got some inside information. This stuff actually gets investigated and people do actually show up to your house when you like legitimately threaten to kill somebody on the internet. Like it's the real deal. And I know it for a fact.
Yeah.
I was just having a conversation about it with somebody on Saturday about it. So it's the real deal. So don't threaten to kill.
Well, that's the thing.
It's not even like it's a year or 2 years. It's 2 months.
Yeah, it's just a slight delay.
July, August. It was supposed to come out in June.
We've gotten to this everything has to be released now mentality, and that's what's led to us having all of these early access alphas because everybody wants it now. And I think it's just kind of created a weird atmosphere. It used to be we'd wait and anticipate a game. I mean, you know, people would put it out, you'd read about it in a magazine.
Game Informer from GameStop.
Yeah, I mean, you dial
PC
up the
Mag.
bulletin board system, you know, somewhere and find an article on it. Like
God.
something would happen. Like that's how it used to be. And now it's like everything is so set in stone. Oh, now you can follow every little twist and turn of the development. You know, and people then feel like they can do this. Just, you know, maybe there should be a little more hands off when it comes to develop. Let these guys develop a game.
Yeah.
Without, I mean, you know, I say what I say about H1Z1, but they're putting it out, you know, they're putting every little dot out there. It's not, we're receiving the finished product as it comes out. That's the problem.
Yes.
You know, maybe that's some of the bad. They can't undo something. Like if this were a true alpha, they could put in, and they weren't charging money for all those little details. They could put that in and realize, oh, this isn't what we wanted. We'll take it all out and we'll put something else in.
Can't do that.
Well, they can't do that anymore. So now, imagine how many death threats they would get at H1 or Daybreak if they took away all those people's skins. It'd be the exact same thing as what this guy's receiving.
Possibly, yeah. So,
Or, you know, it'd be like Clegg hearing fix your game constantly.
yeah,
Like he hears every 10 seconds.
exactly. So there you go. That is No Man's Sky. It's literally not even. It's literally 2 months. Like it was supposed to come out in June. It's now coming out in August. It's 2 months. It's not 2 years.
Yep.
It's not 2,000 years. It's 2 months. I think your life will go on. So Miscreated. Always working on a lot of stuff at Miscreated. Got some new Twitter screenshots. A bunch of new images. So this first one here is pretty neat, actually. This is what the new roads are going to look like. And and I got to tell you, man, living in upstate New York and dealing with snow and snow plows destroying the road, this is a very accurate representation of like what
the roads
crumbled.
look like.
Yeah, all of the roads look like this in upstate New York because they're just destroyed by the snow and the ice and the salt. This looks good.
And this is something that they're actually doing. So I guess to get into the insider lingo of it a little bit, when they make these roads, rather than just doing a flat texture, they could put something into that model that then gives it that depth. You see how on the edge it actually looks like it drops off?
Mm-hmm.
That's one piece, and then they put something in there that gives it that depth to it. Because I think before it just was a texture over it that smoothly went over to the edge of the road. So they're starting to put those things in there so that when you look at the cracks of the road, it looks like there's actually a crack in the road, not just a picture of a crack on the road. The edges drop off, to where it looks like it's actually crumbling away. So these are those nice little details that, if one of the designers puts the time in to make it do that, like it's easy for them to then go and replace all of this through the whole map.
Yeah.
Like this is one of those instant fixes that's like, oh, this looks a lot better.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that,
and there's another one if you,
yeah, go ahead.
in the replies, there's another one. A little different.
Oh, from a different angle.
Yeah, a little more
and you can see he's really got that texture and the cracking. The road looks really good.
Yeah, so good stuff there. Now
this next one is actually bigger than what it seems.
Okay.
So there's a picture in it. If you look at that tent, there's actually storage in the tent.
Okay.
That has not been anywhere inside of the game up until now.
Okay.
There's been no storage whatsoever. So this is just kind of showing you can put a pub tent up, which has a certain amount of storage that you can keep things in the world on.
You could hide. You make like a little pseudo base. You could hide it somewhere in the woods.
Yeah. Now this is just showing an example because of the relevance system, they haven't been able to have storage because it caused too much lag. So now, as you can see, they'll be able to put in storage with the new relevance system that they're doing. They can put storage in and it's not going to lag somebody out across this other side of the map.
Yeah.
So was just them just showing you.
This is good news.
Yeah, it's much bigger. It just seems like, someone's like, it's a pub tent with some storage. No, this is showing you that something else is actually being implemented and it's almost there.
Yeah.
Another thing that seems small, but someone who actually plays the game quite a bit would see this is you can now unload 22 rounds. So there was a weird thing with ammo to where your rounds were in a clip because they didn't do the inventory of individual rounds. So you would have a clip that was half full and a clip that was half full. You couldn't combine them. It would get really weird. So they're having to where you can actually unload the rounds from a clip, put in, and fill up a clip or have the individual bullets that you can then put in a clip. So this is part of the inventory system because of the limits that they had with the inventory. This is another thing that they're going to be doing. And then these next two are talking about them implementing the new CryEngine, because I was wondering about this because they originally were working off of the old CryEngine. They are working on putting it on the new CryEngine. And so this has been something that it's not seamless. And I put it in, put for the post here, he says, some of the features that were in the old CryEngine were removed in the new CryEngine 5, like some of the abilities. So they're having to hand code some of those things in now. So kind of strange, but they didn't put all the same features in CryEngine 5 that they had in the previous version. So that's part of the delay that they're having right now, is they're actually putting the code in to make it so that they have all the same abilities inside of this new version of CryEngine with miscreated. And then also some that he put another tweet out there that they're trying to add back things that have been broken. So they are moving all of their assets into the new CryEngine, which should give a lot of performance and DirectX 12 ability, things like that. So you get that 20% boost. That plus they'll be doing the relevant system. So I keep saying it, but man, this is going to be a big day for miscreated once they can get the stuff out. So
yeah, this is all very relevant, important news. If you are if you're genuinely excited for this game, then this is all relevant and very big news.
Yeah, I mean, it's all stuff that when something's right there and you're like, it's almost there. Like, I'm just waiting for them to release the update that just says, all right, we've implemented the relevant system.
Yeah.
Because that'll be the start of this game. Really.
Well, hopefully it's like the launch of this game, because right now it's kind of.
It could be. I mean, if they do it right, and maybe that's why they're trying to get CryEngine 5. Maybe they're going for that big release of, all right, we've implemented the relevant system. We've put in CryEngine 5, which will have DirectX 12 support. The graphics are going to be better. We've got base building with storage. We've got tents now. All these, release it in one big one. That could be enough to get the numbers jumping up quickly.
Yeah.
Because you get a big group of people and say, hey, let's build a base and actually have storage and have something to protect. That will get some people playing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really what it comes down to.
And right now you're not getting that, because there's no reason to have a base. Like, you're building a base is just for the fun of it.
Yeah, it's just it's for the fun of it, and it's to hey, look, I have a base.
Yep.
And people can run in and out of the base because it's all weird. Now this next thing is some DayZ news. Now they released the 0.60 update probably 3 weeks ago now.
A couple weeks ago.
And before that, the development was. I don't know if it was completely
at a standstill.
I don't know if it was complete.
It hadn't been updated in a long time.
Yeah, it hadn't been updated, so I honestly wasn't even looking at it. It was like
maybe they were working on this and be like, all right, we're not putting out any patches on.
No, it was dead for a really long time.
I mean, it was dead for like a year or more, like probably a year.
I didn't follow the development closely because I check stuff before the show of a bunch of different games, like I know Brian does, and I just stopped looking at DayZ because it was just even almost since our show started, it was kind of irrelevant. There was really nothing new. So there's a really in-depth blog post here, and I'm just gonna hit a few of the things on it because it's a lot of. It's kind of like the not the 7 Days to Die, the Rust patches where it's just information on information on information. So that they do a monthly report here. They ask a bunch of the developers for some stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of go through a few of these bullet points here. So. They've been hard at work at fixing several major bugs with the 0.6 experimental build. The first one being the login process of players to servers. They're working on that. Error messages when picking up an item with attachments that have been placed on the ground and then moved to your inventory. That's been fixed. Player item loss when logged off while holding a backpack has been fixed. Several server crashes causing very short server uptime. Current known server crashes are fixed. So anything that was causing that currently has been fixed, but more issues will probably come up. That's what happens with games that are being developed. Client crashes when navigating certain coastal cities. That was reproducible. Client crashes, those are all fixed. Weapon attachment twitching randomly out of sync with weapon and player hands. That's in progress. Client stuck on black screen after launching PC in some configurations. 50% of the known causes are fixed. The remaining are still in progress. So on and so forth. There's just a bunch of more fixes. Now they are working on some cool stuff with the engine itself. And one of the things is shadows for dynamic lights, and then the replacement of the legacy particle system. And then they show this cool little, it's like this color being projected on the wall.
Yeah,
and the
a
stairs.
rainbow.
Yeah,
wheel.
and it's cool because it's being projected on the stairs, and then there's shadowing going on the wall where the railing is. The color's still on the stairs.
They can do some cool things with the lighting to just give that feel.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, that makes a big difference in a game.
I mean, look at even the shadowing on the brick wall at the bottom is there. Lots of cool stuff with that. Other than that, some of the 0.60 build milestone golds are the new renderer implementations. Implemented. The bug fixing is underway. Randomizing of attachments, and then the stuff that's still underway now is the new reload mechanics that's implemented and modifications are underway, and then 60 players per instance implemented in pending final call on server performance. So
Nice.
that's a little bit of this. There's a lot more, and if you're really, really interested in DayZ stuff, I recommend you go read it. It's just too much to cover for this. And
That's on their DayZ blog.
Yep,
so
and that was
we'll
the
have a link to that in the show notes.
Exactly, and they do that monthly. And then today they released I got a gigabyte update, but today but it says the size is 1.88 megabytes. So I don't know what was going on with that.
Did you not download the update previously?
I had it downloaded previously. I don't know what was going on. Maybe it redid the whole thing. I'm not really sure how that works.
Could be, yeah.
So they did that today, and it's 0.60.133258. And now there are currently 56 experimental / unstable servers, which you would want an experimental unstable server if you're playing 0.60. So there's 56 servers. A few of the features of this update are player bodies are now separated from vicinity and no longer require view contents. So you can, they're separated from the vicinity, and you don't have to view the contents of them. It'll just tell you that they're hydrated, dehydrated, so on and so forth. The next thing on here is that there is a new radar building near Tizzy, so the new building added there. Suppressors are now working as intended. The map working with the current it says EXP. I would imagine that's normally the word for experience, but the experience UI. And then they show the map here. I don't really know what they're trying to show off here, but that's that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure.
I haven't played the game in so long.
Experimental UI. Experimental UI.
That's
got to be what
that
it
would
is.
make sense. The other thing on here is that the wheels spawning at stationary car wrecks. So, like this is really dark. But this right here is a stationary car. Like this is a broken down car that's added to the world, but tires are spawning there now. So you can actually
claim the tire off of
you
it.
can get an actual working tire at a stationary car area where it's spawned in. So that's kind of cool. A few fixes here. Player bodies now despawn 20 seconds after you hide the body, which is good because once you don't want it to disappear instantly. The whole point of hiding a body is you can kill. In DayZ, most people are friendly until you have a reason to believe otherwise. But if they see a bunch of dead bodies around you, you're going to get killed. So that's fixed. You can now cook chicken meat without crashing the servers. So I guess that was an issue they were dealing with. And
Nice.
then the last fix is that the clouds can now be enabled. A few bugs. The MP5 iron sights are still broken. The Red 9 disappearing when emptying the ammo. Crossbow scope was not showing the reticle. Graphical bug when the road flares were lit. Vehicle spawns were having an issue, specifically like this when this stuff was just kind of piling on top of each other, which makes no sense. That's what they're working on. Weapon and weapon attachment still twitching, and then the CR527 still has an ammo bug. If you're playing this, go to the Reddit. It's reddit.com/r/DayZ. A lot of people on this community. They're always updating and working on stuff, and they need you to submit bugs. Just it's the way this stuff works. You got to submit bugs and so on and so forth for stuff to be fixed. So that's the DayZ news, the DayZ update. Now, there was nothing really important with 7 Days to Die from this blog
This week.
Yeah, it was just saying that the characters we showed off last week, which were these like Fallout looking things, he said that the roaming bandits are a big game changer. They make a horde of dogs look like a pack of cuddly puppies. So they're pretty badass, and they're gonna. I mean, they'll easily kill. It appears that they'll easily kill you if if you run across them. So it's not something you're gonna want to do. So that is DayZ 7 Days to Die now. You have something in here for Elite Dangerous. What is that?
Okay, so they did release that new Engineers, and it's actually just a 1.5-minute video. I don't know if you want to play it.
Yeah, sure.
1 minute 20 seconds.
All right, let's do this. So we'll show this, and then we'll.
And you can do it with audio if you want. It's,
okay.
It's just audio of them talking.
All right, here we go.
Here's what I know. These engineers, they make things work better. Faster drives, stronger shields, enhanced weapons, and a few specialist upgrades. Of course, you'll have to find them first, earn their trust, and they're gonna want something in return. Tech, resources, intelligence. You do all that. You bring them what they want. So when things get dangerous and you need an edge, an engineer, they can get you what you need.
And there we go. That is the,
so that's the new 2.1 update for Horizons. So Horizons, you may have Elite Dangerous, but if you don't have Horizons, you won't have that. Horizons is pretty much their expansion. You pay for it once, and you get all of these expansions included in it. It's kind of like a season pass. So this is 2.1 Engineers. So you can actually have an engineer now that will, as you saw in there, give you upgrades. It makes it so you can take your ships and take them to the next level. Cool. This is kind of what I've been waiting for, because they had a very limited number of ships and what you can do. This will actually take it, and they've given, I guess, putting the engineers in there really gives them a point.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, so, like they rather than just saying, "Oh, we're going to release some new ships," like this gives it a twist of, "Oh, okay, you get an engineer who's making it so you have the ability to do this, and you have the ability to tune your ship to be faster, to have better guns, things like that." So it's pretty cool. So this is for the new Elite Dangerous 2.1 patch, only for Horizons. So
alrighty. Have you been playing that recently? I haven't heard you. Or...
No, I've been waiting for this patch. So
okay.
Yep. I have that one friend who plays this quite a bit, and he messaged me this past week, and he was like, I don't think I'm going to get this, because he's making it a goal to like travel to this really far place, and I think he's worried about having it mess up something.
Oh, okay.
So he's doing this like for like weeks. He's doing this travel of just each day he's going farther and farther, trying to get to a certain spot in the galaxy.
He doesn't want to install that and have it screw.
He doesn't want to install it and have it mess up the gup. So he's like, he's waiting on the Horizons update. So I'll probably wait till he gets that and then upgrade mine.
Alrighty, that works. Now, do we have anything else, or do we
let's do our next game giveaway just to get that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Get that rolling. So this is going to be Rocket League. So
which will be coming up as a game of the week, probably next week actually. So
yeah, so we'll be doing a game of the week. So we're going to be giving away a copy today, and then we'll be giving another copy away next week.
Yes.
Just so we can kind of build up the numbers of people that have. Nick and I both have Rocket League already. So, and I'm pretty sure we'll have to see if Lance has it.
I think he does, yes.
Yep. So, and this is currently, you have today? Is it going to go away today?
No.
Pretty much.
No, I think you still have time for it. No, I think you still have time for it.
I'm saying tomorrow's going to be the first, will you still be able to sign up?
Oh, no, you're right. Oh, no, you have 2 days. 2 days, 16 hours, and 6 minutes. So you've got okay. 2 more days to sign up for this.
So if you're planning on being a part of that and you don't want to pay a higher price, make sure that you go get the Humble Bundle. You'll get probably 5 or 6 other games along with Rocket League. So.
Yes, the Humble monthly is $12. You can sign up and then instantly cancel so that you get your games and you don't pay.
Get your 1 month worth and you don't have to.
Yeah, like I thought you had to sign up every month and it charged me this month and I was like, oh, okay, I got Rocket League, so.
Yeah, and you already had Rocket League, but still,
yeah.
Rocket League's a good game. So it's a lot of fun. It's an arena style. You actually play soccer with cars.
Soccer with cars, RC cars and soccer. So a lot of good stuff coming up there. Speaking of good stuff, H1Z1's numbers are up, and that's probably because of the patch. So currently playing H1Z1, this is Just Survive and King of the Kill combined, 11,220. The 24-hour peak for that is way wrong. I must have added a 0 or something. There's not 164,000 people playing the 24-hour peak.
Whoa.
Yeah, I must have added something wrong there. I don't know what I did. So there's probably 16,000 people as the 24-hour peak and the 70 peak.
16,418.
Yeah, that was probably it. And then the 7-day peak is 20,864. Not a chance in hell there'd be 164,000 people playing this game. Just Survive numbers up a lot, up over 2,000 the current players from last week, which would is kind of indicated by the wiping of the server kind of gets people back and interested. 4,070, the 24-hour peak for that, 5,573. The 7-day peak, 7,118. Now moving on to King of the Kill, playing that currently, 7,150. The 24-hour peak for that, 10,611. And the 7-day, 13,746. Ark Survival Evolved, currently playing that, 38,025. The 24-hour peak for that is 57,254. And the 7-day peak, so close to 70,000, 69,842. That's crazy, those numbers. Now, game we have not covered in a very long time, Miscreated, currently playing that, 105. Oof. The 24-hour peak, 204. And the 7-day peak, 271. So I think these are even lower than they were when we used to check up. I think the numbers used to be in the 400s.
If you look, nothing has really changed other than weather.
Yeah.
Nothing has really changed in a long time.
Yeah.
All the stuff that they're doing that are changes are all stuff they're doing on their side that they're just giving you hints of. This is being changed. This is coming. This is coming. Like the thing that's going to be bringing people back, none of that stuff has actually been put on servers yet.
Yeah. So
we'll have to see. It'll be interesting to see the rise of that, if it takes off or if it goes, just continues to go 100 and 200 people.
Yeah. And then finally, Rust, currently playing that, 18,718. The 24-hour peak for that, 33,380. And the 7-day, 45,904. That is current players. And that was, I mean, it was nice to see the Just Survive numbers up. I hope they stay up. I mean, just from past experience, I think I can speak on this pretty intelligently. The past experience is that these numbers are going to be down next week. So that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you can. It'll be interesting to see what happens with these. Like, for instance, with Just Survive, as they start to put in some of these things, make these changes.
Yeah,
it's amazing how, because they haven't done something in Just Survive for so long.
True, and that,
what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
they're just starting to put stuff into it.
Yeah, and with the wipe and all that stuff going on,
see if the numbers start to build back up again.
Exactly. So we'll see. I hope they do. I'm just speaking from past experiences. That's kind of what's going on. So,
all right,
that's current players. Yeah.
All right. So, are we ready for tip of the week?
Yeah. Unless you've got something else.
Nope. We'll do tip of the week, and then we can roll for the game after this. So tip of the week's where I go through and I'll pick either a certain game or we'll talk about some sort of a gaming tip in general. But this is something that will help you maybe in a survival game or just help you be better at whatever game you're playing. So this is tip of the week. All right, so for this week, I actually wanted to talk about Miscreated a little bit because I am anticipating this game so much that there will be people playing this. I know right now there's not a ton of people playing it, but there will be. So I want to go over some of the different movements. And this isn't only Miscreated. There's a number of games that do this, but I'm keeping this one somewhat basic. So for crouching, I mean, you'll find this with DayZ, H1Z1. You can jump between crouching and from standing up with the X and C keys. And this one's different. If you look in Miscreated, for them, F is the interact key. There's a lot of games where you'll have E be interact, maybe a different key. But this one, in Miscreated, this is one of the most confusing things for me initially, is to go and interact with something, to pick something up, you have to actually press the F key, which I don't know. I can't think of any other game that actually uses that key. Another thing, to open and close your menu, so to bring up your backpack, you could think of it as gear. To open up your backpack and see what's in there, that's the G key. So rather than being I and E, it's F and G. So and then of course the normal top row of keys for your game is the 1 through 4 is your different tools and weapons that you have equipped. F1 is to toggle between your first and third person view, so you can actually jump and forth, back and forth between that. The normal, which is left shift, that's pretty much the same through most of these games, to be able to swim and run faster, and then Alt for a free look. Now, another interesting thing about Miscreated, because their inventory system is kind of weird. So let's say you go up and you find a backpack. You can't just pick up that backpack and instantly swap it. You have to go, it doesn't let you pick up backpacks. So you can't pick up a backpack and go hand it to somebody else. You have to leave the backpack where it's at and actually move all your items into that backpack that's on the ground. And then you can drop your backpack and pick up that backpack with the items in it. So it's kind of a weird system. I'm assuming that might change once they fix the inventory system, to where you actually pick up the backpack and then maybe equip it later. But currently that's how it is. Same thing with pants. You may find a pair of pants that has 5 pockets, like 5 inventory slots on it. You can't just pick up the pants and have them be in your inventory and automatically swap. You need to actually place the items from your current pants into those pants, drop your pants, and then pick up those pants. So that's just kind of an odd little gameplay thing for Miscreated, but those are some of the things that threw me off the most when I first started playing it. But once you figure those out, it's pretty simple. So that is Miscreated in my tip of the week.
Awesome. Thank you. That's so weird that they use F. That's just...
Yeah, I remember when I first started playing, I'm like, I can't pick up any, like, I had to go look up. I mean,
I guess like if I put my hand there, I mean, you use you use your pointer finger to use E or F. So I guess it really doesn't matter. It's just a little odd because I mean, it actually.
They did their own thing rather than doing what everyone else does, but I don't know. It makes it towards harder. It's a barrier to entry.
It is.
Because you're not just going to jump in. And plus, if you play a bunch of games, sometimes it throws you off. Like if I quit playing a game for a while and I go back in, that's part of the hardest part of it is trying to remember, what are all the keys for this?
Yeah, exactly. And that Red Sniper is saying that Division uses F for everything. Yeah, they do. F was the command to start everything.
But they
up.
actually say hold down F.
Yeah, hold down F. Yeah.
There's none of that in Miscreated. Like it doesn't tell you. I remember I was just, you know how you in a game you'll just start hitting all the keys. You can't remember what it does. You just go across all the keys and hit till something pops up.
Exactly.
That's what I did the first time.
Computer troubleshooting at its finest. Press every key until something happens.
Yeah, because I was like, well, how do I open up my inventory? So I just I went across the top row. Nope. Okay, went to the second row. Okay, here we go.
And then you hit the Alt F4 and the whole thing broke. It was just
the whole thing,
just a real shame.
Crashed.
Yeah.
Really strange.
Game crash. Yeah. And then you submitted a bug report. So let's see. I think we've got our copy of Rocket League here, and then we should be good to go.
Very good. All right, so we'll go ahead and roll right now, and the winner is Falcon's Watch.
Hey, so, there we go.
Falcon,
you better be there in 2 weeks playing.
You better be there. Hopefully, he's not working. So hey, you can ask for it off.
Right now. Yeah, you can. You know that you could take a medical day. Right, you can take it right now. You'll know. There we go. Congratulations to him for that. Brian will have a copy next week of Rocket League. You can get a copy.
We'll have another one to give away.
$12 on the Humble Bundle, or PHVCK said you can buy it for $10 on G2A, which is a little more risky. You know, if you
well, the problem is they'll say, hey, do you want to spend $2 to get insurance?
Exactly.
To make sure you actually get the ski.
So you could risk, but you're also getting like 5 or 6 other games with the Humble Bundle. Normally they're they're not great games. Like there's really nothing fantastic about the games. But there may be
sometimes they'll throw in some gems though. Like
that's what I'm hoping
things
for.
You don't know.
Exactly. So I'm hoping there'll be a gem in this month's Humble Bundle, because the ones last month were like Jumpin' Jet Rocket or like some Rex Rocket or some. There's a lot of garbage extra games. So crap games. But yeah, $12 a month, so you can sign up for that. humblebundle.com/monthly. So there we go.
All right, and I got all those sent out, so you should see them in your inbox. Make sure you might have to click other.
Yeah, you got anything else, Brian? Any other? Trying to think.
No, I think that takes care. If anybody is interested in doing some game design, they should contact us. Especially if anyone does like asset modeling, character modeling, rigging, things like that. But if anyone wants to get involved in an upcoming secret project, you're more than likely to contact us, see if you could be a good fit.
Yes, and we're working on some other stuff behind the scenes that will be hopefully
we just don't want to announce them before and then have it fall through.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not going to just put all of our information out there, have it all be wrong, and then have to retract our statement. So,
and then say we no longer give promises.
Yeah, so we're working on a few things behind the scenes. This week's game night, 9:30 Eastern on Friday, twitch.tv/Landgun44. We're going to be playing Gary's mod. You also will need Counter-Strike Source installed to play Gary's mod. You won't have any of the textures, so you need Gary's mod and Counter-Strike Source. They're both very inexpensive, like literally dollars for both of those games. So get those pretty inexpensively. We'll be doing that Friday night, 9:30 Eastern. Other than that,
yeah. So Gary's mod is $9.99 right now. I'm sure if you went on
G2A, you get that.
G2A, you could probably get it for $2 to $3.
Yeah, there you go. So stuff's pretty inexpensive, and we'll be playing that Friday night. Rocket League coming up next week. Other than that, we do have a note. I do have a note. This is kind of far out, but on the week of June 12th, which is a Sunday, we will be doing the show on June 13th and not the 14th.
Okay.
Does that still work for you?
Yes, and I was trying to remember before the show. I don't remember if it was next week or so. It's going to be in a couple weeks.
Yeah. The show will be on Monday, June 13th. I have to work from 10 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday. So even if I got home in time, it would be irrelevant because it wouldn't be doing it. So
so we're going to do that one a day early.
Exactly, it'll be on a Monday. So for all you travelers, that'll be fun for you. Other than that, that is going to do it. Of course, you can join our Steam group. Check out our website, infectionpodcast.com. Email us, contact@infectionpodcast.com. All of that fun stuff over there. Guys, that is going to do it for episode number 72 of Infection, the Survival Podcast. My name is Nick Craig, at Nicholas M. Craig is my Twitter. Infectionpodcast.com is the website. We'll see you next week for Infection, everybody. Have a great week.